This video is going to show you how to hook up an Allegiant light bar with any of the mini controllers seen here. So these are all Federal Signal products. Federal Signal 45 and 53-inch Allegiant light bars are what we'll focus on here. There are a few different control head options available, the 4-button, 6-button, and 9-button controller. As you can see, the 6-button controller also includes a 3-position slide switch, positions off, 1, 2, and 3. And you'll notice that each of the controllers has 6 small LEDs at the top of them, which indicate directional arrow functionality because the Allegiant is capable of directional arrow in addition to its other warning and scene light functions. We're going to focus on the 6-button controller with the 45 and 53-inch Allegiants because that's the most popular combination for our customers. The different control head options have multicolor backlighting that you can set up in the programming, like this picture here, which is the big 17-button controller, which would typically be found in police or fire applications. The smaller control heads also have multicolor backlighting, so if you wish, you can group similar functions together by color on the backlighting. So all scene lights, for example, could be white backlighting. The directional arrow buttons could be yellow backlighting. And of course, you can change the color when you turn the button on and off and do different things with it, but the multicolor backlighting can be very helpful. There are a couple different ways of connecting the control head to the light bar. In this way, it's kind of the simplified way. You simply connect the light bar's power and ground to your vehicle as you normally would, and then the data cable, the gray Cat5 cable, goes to the jack on the side of the controller. And the light bar feeds the controller power through the data cable. So it's very, very simple and easy. You just plug it in and away you go. You can program the controller to do fancier things if you wish, but at this point the system should be operational. It's important to note that if you do hook it up this way, there are 2 things you have to do. One is check the dip switch inside the light bar, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment to confirm that it's set up to provide power over the Cat5 cable. And you also need to be aware that as long as the battery line, the red power line coming from the light bar to the vehicle, is connected to power, the backlighting on the controller will be enabled. So you do have the risk of draining your battery. It's only draws a few milliamps, but still over a week or a number of days of extended storage where the vehicle's not run or plug into a charger, it could draw your battery down. So just be aware that you just need to switch ignition switch, or with a power timer, the red line, the main power line going to the light bar. It's that simple. This is the other method of powering the light bar and connecting it to the controller. So the controller does come with a small power harness that you can plug into the side of the controller, and it has a black, a red, and an orange, which is ignition, wire coming out of it. So this allows you to keep the light bar powered constantly, if that's the way you'd prefer to hook it up. And then the controller is powered by a separate ignition circuit, so it will power up and down with ignition, but the light bar always stays powered. As noted earlier in the slides, you'll have seen the reference to a dip switch. There is a dip switch on the controller board inside the light bar. The dip switch tells the light bar whether or not it needs to provide power down the Cat5 cable, the network cable. If you've hooked up the controller to its own power, ground, and ignition, you need to make sure that it's not also getting power from the light bar. Otherwise, the ignition setting on the controller won't do anything because it'll be getting power from the light bar. So to access the dip switch, you remove the passenger side lid or dome from the light bar, and it has 4 barrel nuts, and there are O-rings underneath the barrel nuts. I would just please be cautious because sometimes the O-rings stick to the bottom of the head of the barrel nut, and sometimes they stay in the light bar. in the little hole there that the barrel nut goes into. So please do not lose the barrel nuts or the O-rings. The O-rings are important for water intrusion prevention, but the barrel nuts are quite pricey, so make sure you don't let one disappear on you. Once you've got the dome off the top of the light bar, you'll be able to see the controller board inside the bar. This is where the power, ground, and Cat5 cables terminate inside the light bar. The little red arrow here is pointing at the dip switches. That's where you need to look to find dip switch number 1 and ensure it is in the appropriate position, depending on whether or not you want the light bar to feed power to the controller. You may have noticed that if you are using a light bar and a controller, as we've been discussing, there are no outputs for any other lights. The controllers right out of the box will only control the Allegiant light bar or other similar Federal Signal light bars. If you have other lights on the vehicle that you want to control with the 6-button or 9-button or 4-button control heads, you can certainly do that. You just need one of these expansion modules to facilitate that. They plug into the controller via the same kind of network cable assembly that comes down from the light bar. Everything all joins together with the network cables, and then it provides analog outputs so you can hook them up to grill lights or floodlights or whatever other lights you have on your vehicle that you want to control through the little controller that we've been talking about. So there's a 2-channel version, a 4-channel version, and a 24-channel version. The 2-channel version has 2 7.5 amp outputs. So if you just need to run 8 little LED lights, a grill light, a couple side-facing lights, and a couple rear-facing lights, and you've got 4 lights on either side of the car, then you could hook up 4 lights to one side of one output on that 2-channel flasher and the other 4 lights to the other output, and they'll flash alternately or however it's programmed. If you've also got alley lights or work lights or other things that you want to do, then go up to the 4-channel. And if you really want to get crazy and put a whole pile of different lights and functions on it, the 24-channel would be for you. So obviously there's price increases from 2 to 4 to 24. All are fully programmable, and it's all done through the 6-button or 9-button or 4-button controller with software that's freely available off the Federal Signal website. If you'd like to know more or need any more details, if you're in Canada, please drop us a note or contact us at sigmasafety.ca. If you're outside of Canada, we'd encourage you to go to the Federal Signal website at fedsig.com. And on that website you'll find support phone numbers and emails as well as extensive documentation. So thanks for watching. I hope it helps you.